Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gerdes, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
You know, selling a home, we just do this every day. And so selling a home is a crazy experience. It's just like when you go out to dinner. It amazes me that I could go and order $500 worth of food and booze. They drop it off, and then I pay for it. Right? It's just a crazy concept. But I can't just go up to a bar. They take my credit card. But anyways,
especially you.
Yeah.
Oh, we know this guy.
We know your tendencies.
But for sellers, I think it can become very nerve-wracking. You don't know what is going on in your home when you let another agent bring a buyer. But what happens when that agent does crazy things? So this was in Canada, of course. This agent, he goes to show a home to a client. He's thirsty. And so he literally opens up the refrigerator, takes out the container of milk, takes a swig of it, and then puts it back in the refrigerator.
Respect.
This is all on camera?
Yeah, I think, a Ring camera.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. That's a pro move right there.
Wow.
What's the crazy? I've shown thousands of homes. I've never done that. Now, I've opened up the refrigerator and determined whether I want to party with them or not. No, you always got to check, make sure the refrigerator's in great shape. So he was found $15,000, and I love this because this is Canada, for actions unbecoming under the British Columbia Real Estate Services Act. And he was also fined an additional $2,000 for enforcement expenses.
Well, I don't know if you recall, it wasn't too long ago, and I don't remember what exactly happened, but it was an agent and his client. They would just go from home to home and have a little bit of sexy time in every single it was like all over. I was like...
They were agents?
No, one of them was, and then the other one was, I don't know, just a girlfriend of his or whatever. I was like, okay.
That's
a new move. Good for you. I'm sure his license has since been revoked.
So then there's two agents take a listing in the Hamptons, 3-bedroom condo. Okay, the owners ended up filing a lawsuit because, these two agents chose to open up one of the bedrooms and market it for sexcapades. So you got a listing, right? Obviously, the house is vacant, and your agent decides to start renting out rooms and having sexcapades inside your place.
Wow. I just don't know. So I
have things that I want to say, but you're welcome for not saying them.
So agents confess using the bedroom for a sexual encounter, but they're such good people. They offered to continue the listing with zero commission and fulfill his fiduciary duties. Your fiduciary duties are absolutely gone. So, I believe he lost his license, but now this is the kicker for them. Sellers, and I want to know if you guys think this is appropriate or not. The sellers are suing and seeking $100,000 in emotional damages.
I mean, $100,000 is a lot of money, but I feel like they're going to win it. I mean, you can't do that. You can't do that to people's house. And who knows?
So that's in America, not Canada, right?
Yeah, this is America.
In the Hamptons.
America. Okay, so the recovery fund is there for a reason, right? And so an attorney's probably going over there saying, "Hey, there's some cash in that kitty. Let's go after it." They're probably not going to get the $100,000. They're probably going to settle if they haven't already, and maybe done half of that or something like that. But shame on them, though, dude.
Yeah.
I just to steal your line, Ryan. If either of these agents, the milk one, I could just he's thirsty, right? There wasn't.
But he drank out of their milk jug.
But there wasn't any like, planning and any, thoughtful malice intended. He just got thirsty, and I get it. I wake up, sometimes I'm like, man, I really would like to drink some milk. But renting out and opening up a room for a sexcapade, I just, it's like, if
that's premeditated right there.
That's premeditated.
For sure.
There's planning involved. You're budgeting. You're getting supplies. I don't know. Walk me through this. That's the way. Like, at what point
When did you decide that this was going to be a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you got the listing, or were you like walking through and you're like, oh, this is a perfect room to rent out for sexcapades?
He's like, probably wanting to retire. Maybe found out he had cancer or something like that, and said, babe, may as well go out with a bang or something, because there's not any planet I live on where that would even be kind of tolerated.
Right.
Or thought of.
Well, I can see it being thought of. Hold on now. It's not that creative. It's the fact that he did it. That's some stones right there.
All right. So the question it becomes, what can sellers do? What should they be prepared for? What should they expect? And when we're talking with sellers, Ryan, how do we prepare them for the nonsense, and how do they protect themselves?
So everybody reads all those things that come through from Realtor.com or Zillow or any of these big places, and they're all true. You want to get rid of as much personal stuff. We try to confine any type of personal pictures or trinkets or whatever to just the master bedroom, because that is a little bit more personal. We want buyers to walk in and feel like they can make themselves at home, not like they're in somebody else's home. So all of those things are true. We're definitely taking away any valuables, getting all that fun stuff out of there, common sense stuff, right? But when it comes to things like this, we do have some really good systems that track who comes in and who comes out, how we put them on a calendar. We have some software called Showing Time. I'm pretty sure they're in other major markets as well. So there's a lot of accountability measures there to make sure that agents aren't getting out of line on things like that. But there is a leap of faith that you must make with a seller, or as a seller, that if you continue to occupy a property after it's been listed, people are going to be coming through your home, and they're going to look in your cabinet. So they're going to look in your pantry.
You have to
Look at the house.
People have to. No one wants to buy a house sight unseen.
And they're going to see your clothes. They're going to see those things and get an idea of what kind of people you are. It's what's going to happen. Now, the homes that sell the best and the fastest, those are ones that are vacant and staged. So if you really want to remove as much variables out of the situation as possible, then that's what you do. But that's not really, logistically speaking, not really feasible for everybody. So you want to make sure that you give them an hour, that you're always ready to lock and leave within an hour's notice, right? And that you want to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Make sure, especially here during the summer, AC is turned down, all those fun things. And then after that, I'm picking up the phone and calling and following up with these agents that have shown our listings and saying, hey, what's going on here, and how are we feeling? And then, of course, on some of our more premier properties, we have to make sure that the buyers that are coming through are legitimate, because they're targeting some of these homes and they're casing some of these homes, and so we want to make sure and remove as many of those possible issues as much as possible.
All right. If you'd like some more information on how to prepare your house to sell, some ways that you can protect yourself and strategies, go ahead and text the word sell to 623-AZ-RECON. That's sell to 623-AZ-RECON. Now, Justin, I know you're on the mortgage side, so I don't know how much experience you have in this, but the question, and probably more pointed to Ryan, is I'm seeing more and more sellers staying home while the home is being shown, and or asking their agent to be there. Appropriate, not appropriate, good idea, not a good idea.
So I mean, I talk to the buyers all the time, and one of the things that I was actually speaking with somebody on Saturday, and they went and saw 2 homes. Both of those homes had Ring cameras in every single room. So, I mean, I feel like if I was a seller, I'd probably do something like that. I've been burglarized before, so I'm very hesitant on who I let in my house. And no, not that. He can't help himself. He can't help himself. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there is a lot of people doing that kind of stuff now, putting Ring cameras in. But I have heard about sellers staying at the home while people are there, and I wouldn't feel comfortable as a buyer going in and looking at a home. I don't think I'd feel welcome. And
Well, the numbers say there's 76% of all American homes have some type of surveillance system on their property. And I feel like a lot of those, whenever they're getting ready to list their home, they're running over to Costco or jumping on Amazon, and they're getting either a Blink or a Nest or a Ring system or whatever, whatever flavor they enjoy, and then they get addicted to it. I know that one of our, my home up in Alaska, even when I have no one in there, I'm always looking at it because I love the views, and so it makes me feel like I'm not in 120-degree heat during the summer, right? But I don't want to watch somebody else live their life. It's not what I get off on, but some people do. And so as a buyer, you need to be aware of that if you're walking into a home, that you are probably being watched and listened to, because all these things, I mean, they're so high tech, and they're, the size,
Tiny.
they have 2-inch by 2-inch cameras that can catch everything. So yeah, I mean, it's something that buyers need to be aware of, and sellers, you kind of have to keep it in check unless you're gonna go nuts. Now, your question was, sellers staying there while they're trying to list their home, and going back to my primary point of, you want buyers to feel like they're walking into their home, not somebody else's. That pretty much contradicts it right up front. We had one transaction that we did not even a month ago, and the sellers were there for every little bit of it. And it was definitely distracting. It definitely hurt them financially. My buyers didn't, they were feeling like they were being intrusive, and so they were putting less emotion into their purchase, which is what I want them to do anyhow. But yeah, there was definitely more of a disconnect, because the other thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you can have some type of professional relationship after the close, it's very beneficial if a buyer feels like they can call up a seller and say, "Hey, look, what's the mailbox situation like, or what's the situation with the community pool? Give me some insight on that." And then there can be some of that there. But if it's right up in their face from the get-go, usually that type of seller that can have those types of conversations without negatively affecting the deal, they're very, very few and far between.
Well, I can't speak for other states and the real estate laws and any laws when it comes down to real estate, but I can speak for Arizona. One of the things that buyers do need to understand is a buyer cannot demand a seller not to be there.
Correct.
It is still their home, but there's a lot that goes into getting your home prepared to sell. And a lot of things that you can do to protect yourself, protect your belongings, but more importantly, get the most money out of your home as you can. If you'd like some more information and speak to one of our experts, all you got to do is text the word sale to 623-AZ-RECON. That's sale to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.